Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. I am just going to be doing a hopefully short video about, I guess my ideas about production, my own production, in, I guess, just work I produce, and this ending of the year, the beginning of the next year, and hoping that I can stick to not really a New Year's resolution at all, but just honoring myself in, I guess, just hearing myself and being okay with not having to constantly produce something, whether it be photos or writings or music or drawings or anything. And beyond that, even just a conversation or being able to just be witty or something, you know. So that's something, I guess, that this past year or two has slowly drip dropped on my head, is just trying to be okay with time, and the passing of time, and not always trying to think. I mean, we hear a lot of people and like inspirational quotes like live each day as if it were your last or something, and that is all fine and good, but also there's a pressure in that statement that makes it feel like we have to do everything in like such a short period of time. And some people are really amazing at that and really prolific, and some people aren't. And even those people who are prolific at their work tend to have very dry spells. And speaking of a dry spell, my throat is so dry. I struggle with that in the sense that I do produce a lot of things, and I generally am pretty proud with what I have done. And I tend to give a lot of stuff away. I don't really think of what I'm producing in the sense of like money making or capital or anything. And for people who do that, I think it's okay. Obviously, you don't need my blessing, but I think that that's awesome if you can make money doing what you do. And I'm not very good at, I guess, advertising my work or yeah, I guess just like the commercial aspect of it. It's just I don't make very commercial work, and it's not something that like I really feel like I even have control over. When I try to have polished stuff, it just doesn't turn out polished. It like can never look as good as other people's stuff or sound as good. And I don't have the greatest equipment also, but there's just roadblocks that I've hit. And so I guess with that, I still am pretty constantly creating things, but I'm trying to get myself to be okay with slowing down and working on a bigger project and actually getting to the point where I'm happy with it. I'm happy with like the points along the way till whenever the end is. I'm happy with working on it and potentially with whoever I am working on it with, and just being okay with the process and not just like having an idea, having it done, giving it away, or having an idea, spending a little bit of time on it, doing little tweaks, being a little bit frustrated, and then never finishing it or something. There's like many different examples I could give, but yeah, I just have a tendency to not necessarily rush, but when I draw, I'll post a drawing here. But when I draw things, I tend to draw them very quickly, and I don't think that's a bad thing, but I don't spend hours and hours and hours or days and days on a thing, and I don't really draw very much anymore. And with writing, I tend to write very quickly too, whether it's lyrics or short story or poetry, and it's all really, I don't know, it's really fun for me, and also just kind of like I don't know, I know people say this, and so I'm, I guess, in the same boat as them, but it's very necessary for me to make things, and If you feel similarly, comment below. Let me know what you've been working on that feels very like you. It's almost like I don't. It sounds so kind of douchey, I guess, but I don't feel like I have very much control over what I'm doing. I just have to be doing something. I don't know. And so with that, I don't always have the most like structured or like rigid guidelines. I'm just kind of making, and then it's done when I feel like it's done. And even if it doesn't ever get to the point where I've imagined it initially going, I don't keep working on it till it's like super pristine and ready to be, you know, actually labeled finished. I'm just like, that's good enough. But I want to, like I said earlier, get to the point where I can take a bigger project and work on it till it's done. And I have 2 projects that I think would work really well together, and I'm gonna spend as long as it takes to get them together. And I don't know how long that will be. I have a title for the project, and the ideas are there. It's just the act of actually making them happen. So I know what cameras I'm going to use, and the idea, and I need to figure out like what paper to use and stuff, but it's going to be a mix of a few different things, but it's trying to look, I guess, with the internet age that we're in and have actually only been in for a pretty short period of time. Me growing up, I'm 33. I didn't live in a house with internet. I didn't have a smartphone till my friend Miguel gave me one when I was, I think maybe 23? I don't know. Something like that. A little tiny smartphone. I still have it somewhere. But I think with the whole immediacy of everything, it makes people, no matter what you do, feel like you have to constantly be putting something out, and it's not very healthy, I don't think. It does work for some people, but I feel like eventually it just stresses people the hell out, and I feel like that's not, it's detrimental, and I feel like we need to check ourselves and just like take a step back and be okay with taking our time and no one noticing us or knowing that we're doing something, and then just create for ourselves. It should be okay. The world has functioned just fine without the internet for a very long time. Artists have created without the internet for a very long time, and they've done pretty well for themselves. So I think that it's okay to look elsewhere for inspiration, look deeper into things outside of the internet, or the internet too, but just look beyond immediacy all the time. I don't know. And so I guess part of my project is that, in the sense that I want to take images and then dissect them and look deeper into them, and find different focusing points. And then the other part of the project is taking scenes and just kind of blowing them up and having them be really massive images of scenes of people and cityscapes and landscapes and animals doing things and what have you. But so this camera here, as I've made videos about, is a big part of that project, and so I'm excited to use it for that. And then I'll also be using my 4x5, and I think also just a 35mm, maybe my Olympus OM1. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of ways to like honor my time, I guess, more, and my creative process, and try to just be okay with taking time to make things rather than just making them so that they're out there for other people to see. There are other good videos out there talking about this, but let me know in the comments below if you have any thoughts on this. This is something that I think about often because I am super rushy with projects, and even though there is no deadline really, it's just like my own insecurities and stuff, but I rush to get them done so that they're done, and I like know that they're out there now, or like even just in my room. And so yeah, I've just been thinking about it for a while, and I think it would be a really nice thing to I guess just see work that I can be like fully proud of someday, and not be like, okay, I did this thing, here it is. I don't have the money really to be putting out amazing quality things right now, so I'm hoping in the future I'll have a little bit more money and a little more time to focus on getting everything just so. And that, I mean, I look at photo books of photographers that have either passed or have been making bodies of work for 30, 40 years, and they finally put out a photo book, or they have had a photo book, but it wasn't a full, cohesive piece of that work, and they compiled a new work with a small publisher, and that new book is out, and it's like 100 plus images that they're actually like able to look back at and be proud of and feel like this is what I was actually trying to go for. And I think it's okay to take a good chunk of time for yourself and for a project that you feel is important, and actually try to make it what it could be, rather than, I don't know, what you're told it should be, or when it should be, or I don't know. And I'm no better than anyone. I know that. I feel like I mean, I post on Instagram twice a day, 3 images each time, and I try to make photos and develop photos at home and do that, to stay up on that. And it doesn't, I mean, it's very fun. I've met some really great people on Instagram, and I'm very happy to have talked to them, and it would be great to actually like hang out in person someday. Who knows if that'll happen. Everybody that I've talked to regrettably lives pretty far away, but yeah, it's nice to just have people to talk to as well, about things that we can relate to, and relate on, and just be excited about. But there is stuff outside of that, that to me feels, not outside of those relationships, but outside of Instagram and the internet, that feel pretty just bigger, more substantial. And yeah, anyways, that's kind of where this train of thought video is going, is just trying to focus more on that, and focus on the real, I guess, the now things that I can like actually be in a room with, and not like staring at a screen with, and be influenced by those things and by those people, and by my own thoughts, and just go with them. I think it's important to be able to just give yourself time to hear yourself, and not always just be hearing other people. Here I am talking to a video, or hopefully somebody else is listening, but anyways, yeah, that's it. And I have more video ideas. I just don't spend that much time figuring out how to make the videos work, hence no script or anything. And the program I use takes so long to upload the video, and my internet's bad, and it just takes forever. So hopefully you got something out of this video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. That would be great. And I hope to see you on the other side soon.